Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Innalillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. First of all, I'd like to express my condolences of what is happening in the province of Aceh, West Sumatra, and the North Sumatra province of Indonesia. Last week, I've heard news of the natural disaster happening in those provinces in the form of floods. And I tried to link the situation into what the Al-Qur'an has said about the natural disasters. Okay, let me show you. This is what I've read from the Quran. This is found in Surah Ar-Rum, this one, verse 41. Let's see, 41 together with the translation. Okay, so here it is. Auzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Zahara al-fasadu fil barri wal bahri bima kasabat aydin nas liyuziqahum ba'dallazi amilu la'allahum yarji'un. So the translation is, corruption has appeared throughout the land and sea by reason of what the hands of people have earned. So He, Allah, may let them taste part of the consequence of what they've done, that perhaps they will return to righteousness. Okay, most people interpret this verse as a form of the divine warnings from Allah SWT about the natural disaster. What I try to understand about the issue is that the illegal logging, the greediness of people. I'm not saying all people in those provinces, okay? What I'm saying is perhaps there might be some regulations or administration issues that allow business people to cut trees in those areas, and that is not a secret anymore because the local citizens noticed that there was a growth or increasing number of illegal logging in those areas for certain reasons. Not only was because of the tropical storm, but it was also because of the warning from Allah, I would say. So in this verse, Allah said that everything that happened to humans, especially with the nature, that happens because of the humans themselves. The hands of people have earned. So basically, the hierarchy, it wasn't the fault of the common people like me or like everybody else. Not the faults of the government itself, but there are certain people who misuse their position to cut the trees and to make the procedure seem to be legal, but they neglected the natural law regarding how to maintain the earth. And as a result, animals and the surrounding areas were impacted because of the flood. And not only in Aceh, North Sumatra and West Sumatra, some areas in Malaysia and Sri Lanka also impacted, and India also impacted by the Asian storm, and there was something that we cannot predict. So it's not the time to put blames on another, but of course the legal consequences should apply, especially for those who might be in power previously, have misused their position just to take advantage financially or economically by abusing the natural resources. For those victims or people who passed away because of the floods, I have stated in my WhatsApp status one day that the victim, inshallah, will go to paradise because they are considered as died as a shaheed, not martyr in the sense of war or conflict, but they also considered die shaheed. So I stop share here. So I'd like to show you. I searched online about this one. So you see, this one is from Quran.com, verse 41. The verse is the same. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس ليذيقهم بعض الذي عملوا لعلهم يرجعون. Corruption is spread on land and sea as a result of what people's hands have done, so that Allah may cause them to taste the consequences of some of their deeds, and perhaps they might return to the right path. So we cannot blame Allah for that. We blame ourselves. We do introspection. Maybe there's something that had been misleading. Actually, because trees grow on earth together with us, so whenever you see areas with many trees, you have to learn automatically that it is not your right to cut them all and you build houses. But sometimes people with their business mindset only think about profit, money, cuan and everything like that, but they neglected the environmental issues. So this is the consequences. So Allah has warned us before. Ulama, ustads, Islamic teachers have warned them about this one, but sometimes political issues, they neglect the warning, and that's the result, the consequences. Well, actually, the heavy rain or the storm, inshallah, can be overcome if only we learn that there are certain things that happens because of the will of Allah SWT. And what about those who died? So this is what I read from Google. So I asked Google, hi Google. I hope Google is not being used to kill people, okay? I hope Google only serve humanity. So I searched for this one, apakah meninggal tenggelam mati syahid. So is it true that when someone died because of being drowned in the floods, considered as die shaheed? Okay, so and the answer is yes. In Islam, someone is passed away because of drowned can be categorized as death in shaheed, especially in the category of Akhirat Shahid or Syahid Akhirat. So when you translate people who died in Palestine because of being bombed by Israel or something like that, or Shahid, yes, they're also considered Shahid, but they're very close to martyr. But in this case, people who passed away because of the natural disaster of the flood, we call it Shahid. This is the term. This is in Arabic. With shin, ha, and da, Shahid. Syahid Akhirat. So this is based on the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad SAW that says that there are some types of death, Shahid, other than passed away in the battle zone. So the legal jurisdiction is that there are some hadith clearly stated that someone who died because of drown is considered shaheed, especially that had been stated by Imam An-Nasa'i and Muslim. So the category of the shaheed is that because the death, because of pass away, can be categorized into the type of shaheed Akhirat death, which means that they will get the merits and the higher rank in the hereafter, just like any shuhada who died in the battle, the battle, or in the battle zone. But in the world, they will be treated just like regular corpse. They should be bathed, and they should be prayed into. When the corpse will be situated in front of the people, and then the other people will do the janazah prayer, we call it. Okay, so, and then the additional criteria is that other than being drowned, there are some additional death condition that is considered as Syahid Akhirat. Is when someone died because of the disease, like COVID-19, and then stomachache, including internal pains, for instance, stomachache or gastritis, and then something had fallen to his or her heads or his body, and then pass away because of fire or burnt, and women who passed away after giving birth or pregnant. So this is additional criteria when someone is being considered Shaheed, not martyr, okay, Shaheed. And the additional requirement is that this Shaheed is related to or is connected to people who believe, or only to the believers in Islam. People who do not have faith in Islam cannot be considered died in Shaheed, even though they died in those conditions, in these conditions. Even though you're being drowned, and then you died because of disease or because of giving birth. But if you're not a Muslim, if you do not believe in Islam, then you are not considered as Syahid Akhirat. And what about the financial transaction, hutang or debt? So the Syahid Akhirat death cannot erase the obligations for the worldly debt. The debt between humans should be handled by the family of the janazah, of the passed away person, even though the other sins had been forgiven. So, and even though it may sound making you easy to go to heaven, but please do not aim for this. Okay, don't jump into the river, don't do suicide, or just making any ways to make you pass away because of, as if you were dying Shahid. No, don't do that. So, okay, inshallah, I pray for those who become the victims in this flood, are forgiven by Allah SWT. The family is strong to face the situation, and I also pray that we could help each other, inshallah. And I hope the help I share could be transferred directly to the people in need through Islamic organization or humanitarian organization in Aceh or in North Sumatra or in West Sumatra. And I have heard from the news that there is a help from the President of Republic of Indonesia, and on behalf of Indonesian citizens, I thank you very much for that help, because I remember the situation during those natural disaster. I was there in Padang when the earthquake happened. I was there, but now I'm not in Padang, so I hope that inshallah we can figure it out. We can help each other, inshallah. And I stop sharing here, and so that's. I hope that I can express my condolences to people who are impacted by the natural disaster, but also I hope in this video I have shared something to people about the Shaheed death in Islam. It's not just martyr. People say martyr in Palestine. People who died because of natural disaster, giving birth, and like the one I've mentioned before, are considered as death, Syahid Akhirat. So it means died Shaheed, but then you are forgiven, especially for your sins. But remember, when you have a doubt, you need to finish it. Isn't that amazing? Allah SWT knows exactly about that we have financial system. He can see you, he knows you. He has angels everywhere. And the shaitan or evil never get tired to mislead us. Inshallah. Inshallah, Allah will help us. Never, my message is never assume that we are spiritually perfect, because that will make us feeling ujub, feeling, oh, I'm okay, because the Prophet Muhammad SAW, based on what I've read, he doesn't show that kind of attitude. He's very humble in the front of Allah SWT. And avoid feeling inferior in front of Allah SWT, because Shaitan whispers to you as if Allah doesn't accept your deeds. So you have to be in between, not too confident, but don't be too inferior. You have to be somewhere in between. Okay. I hope it helps, and inshallah we can help each other. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.